Okay, what's good, everyone? It's Nigel here, Trinidad Empowerment Network. So tonight, this evening, wherever you're watching from, we are going to unpack the full story behind the allegations that Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander secretly met with imprisoned gang leaders before the 2025 general election. So let's unpack all of this. The report today, I'm going to try and separate facts from the allegations and unknowns, and explain every legal term so it's crystal clear to you. So how did this all start, you may ask? So last week, the attorney Cristal, sometimes reported as Cristal Primus, representing detained prison supervisor Garth Guada, told the court that Minister Alexander met with alleged gang leaders while still a senior police officer and continued to do so after he entered cabinet. She has not provided any dates, any visitors' logs, or indeed any evidence to prove the meetings occurred. However, this claim was reported by reputable outlets in Trinidad like the Trinidad Guardian, CNC3, etc., etc. So the key people involved here, obviously being Roger Alexander, the former senior police officer now turned Minister of Homeland Security. Most of you know who he is, rightly or wrongly so. Also involved is obviously Garth Guada, a prison supervisor, now detained under Trinidad and Tobago state of emergency, accused of helping a gang. Crystal Primus, or Cristal, that is Guada's lawyer who made the allegation against Alexander. Also involved is the Attorney General, John Jeremy, consulted by Alexander before announcing legal action. The Commissioner of Police, obviously Alistair Guevara, contacted by the media, but to date hasn't made a public statement on the event. So, by the way, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is facing calls to explain whether the National Security Council has been briefed on this. So far, Alexander's responded. His public statement he made recently simply says he's preparing to sue the attorney, and he's organizing to send her a pre-action protocol letter. Now, what is a pre-action protocol letter? It simply means a formal legal warning before filing a defamation lawsuit, giving the other side, if you wish, a chance to withdraw or correct their statement or allegations, right? So Alexander has ridiculed the claims, calling them bits of paper lying on the floor. I don't know what that means. And he even referenced a famous Rock the Wrestler quote. Again, I don't know. Alexander says he will stay focused on public safety and improving resources for schools and law enforcement. But his statement release makes no sense to me. I hope it probably does to you. I do not know. So this is what the PNM is demanding. The People's National Movement, of course, will get involved, as this is, hideous allegation being made. So they are demanding an independent investigation into the allegations, okay? They're also asking for a statement from the Prime Minister on whether the issue reached the National Security Council, and that's the top level government group, should I say, that handles security matters in Trinidad and Tobago. They're asking for a clear update from the police commissioner on whether any investigation of Alexander has started. And of course, they say these allegations strike at the very heart of our democracy and the integrity of our national security in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Garth Guada's detention. Garth Guada is detained under the current state of emergency. So, excuse me, let me try and explain what's going on here. So the state of emergency, as you know, or you may not know, is a temporary legal measure allowing the government to detain people suspected of serious crimes like gang activities without the usual quick release deadlines. It's meant for urgent security situation, but it obviously still requires oversight. So Guarda's lawyer has filed a writ of habeas corpus. A writ of habeas corpus, and here's what that means. I had to do my research into that myself to understand. It's Latin for produce the body. It's a court order that forces the government to bring a detained person before a judge to prove there's a valid reason to hold them. If the judge finds that the detention is unlawful, the person may or must, in fact, must be released. A special SOE tribunal, a 3-person panel that reviews each detention, has already met and is expected to submit a report to Minister Alexander. So Guarda's challenge is being reviewed both by the tribunal and the regular courts. So, hope you're still with me. The evidence so far. So here's the evidence we have. Here is the evidence we have. Public statements and court filings by Attorney Primus. Alexander's own confirmation that he will send a pre-action protocol letter. I explained to you what that is. And here's what we do not have. Here is what we do not have. The allegations. Confirmation of the allegation. No visitors logs, CCTV footage, or emails showing any meetings with gang leaders. So we await confirmation of those allegations. No police confirmation of an investigation into Minister Alexander. Nothing from the police commissioner. No public response from the commissioner of police, of course, as well. He's said nothing publicly about this. And if these meetings were ever proven, it would raise obviously serious concerns about national security and government integrity, of course. But until actual evidence appears, these kind of remain simply what it is, allegations without facts. And under our legal system, defamation requires proof that someone published false statements that damaged a person's reputation. So the minister's plan, or Alexander's, should I say, planned lawsuit means he believes that these statements harmed him and were, of course, a lie, untrue. So here's what to watch out for next. The key development, should I say, to monitor. We need to monitor whether Alexander formally sends the pre-action protocol letter and then files a defamation lawsuit. Let's see how that transpires. The tribunal's report on Guarda's detention and the court's decision on his habeas corpus application. Any official statement from the Prime Minister on the National Security Council. And of course, whether the police service confirms any criminal investigation. So only these steps would tell us if the story is merely an allegation or a proven fact, should I say. So that's essentially it. That is essentially it. In closing, I would say at 10, we never rush to judgment. We present the verified facts. We try to do that clearly, and we try to explain the law so everyone can follow. I hope I've done that. If credible evidence, visitors' logs, tribunal filings, or police reports come to light, you will see the facts here first. You will see it here first on 10. So until then, remember, allegation is not confirmation. I'd urge you to stay informed, stay critical, and demand transparency, as we always do here on 10, from everyone in power. From everyone in power. So until these allegations or the evidence is shown based on the allegations made against Roger Alexander, this is essentially all we have. This is essentially it. So I'm not going to say anything else on this because I do not know. And I do not know. I could only go based on what's been reported. And I've tried my best to break it down to you as best as I can. I hope you understand or have a better understanding of what is going on with that case right now. So that's it. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. For now, much love. God bless. Take care of each other. Peace.